Hi there, I'm Peter Millard and this is 10 Minute Workshop, where 10 minutes in the workshop is never enough. In the workshop this week, I'm going to start going through this big job of mine, and we're going to start with one of the tall shelf components. That's coming up next. So I think, as I mentioned in a previous video, I'm just starting one of the biggest jobs I've ever done. I'm not sure how these videos are going to work out, to be perfectly honest, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to shoot the installs, which is where everything starts to make sense. But I thought I'd do a little bit along the way as we go, and also explain about what's involved in certain aspects of the job. I've already started on, this is in a study in somebody's house. I've already made some little shelves and a desktop that are going to be installed in an alcove. And this is one of the bigger pieces. This is almost 3 meters high, 10 feet, almost 4 meters long, 13 feet, something like that. These shelves are about 600 wide. They're 65 mil thick sections, 2.5 inches, something like that. And between them, on floor level, there's a banquette, so a big sort of seat is going to be upholstered. It'll have drawers that pull out, and these shelves will be fixed shelf at the top and then floating adjustable below that, and then there's also another big shelf section between the two, and that whole thing sort of frames a painting, so it's got to be made quite accurately. There's all kinds of niggles as well. There's a radiator in this corner which I've got to allow for the pipework and the valves and all that sort of thing. So it's a little bit complicated. I am late starting it. It is big and complicated, and I'm only in a very small workshop. So what I've done so far, I've made 2 of these tall upright sections. I'm going to make another 2 now, and then I can, once I've got the final measurements, I need to pay another site visit. I'll be able to get these. I'll be able to get the this measurement accurate, and then I'll be able to tell how wide the actual shelves need to be. Oh, and there are cabinets underneath as well with a face frame, and then Sapele veneered interiors. So all a little bit different, all a bit more of everything than I've done before. Why is that there? Put that over there. Never mind. Yeah. So let's crack on with making the next of these sort of uprights for the shelf supports. With the boards butted against a stop, I can measure and cut both sides to length in a single pass. So the method of construction for this is going to be really simple. To get our 65 millimeter thick shelving, all I've done is I've had MDF ripped to 29 mil, so 29 mil strips of 18 mil thick MDF. We're using 18 mil 3/4 inch MDF. And basically 2 18s and a 29 gives you exactly 65. So all we do, I glue ribs of 29 mil MDF along the whole length, and then we glue the second layer on top of it, just applying weights to keep it all together. I'm using regular 10-minute PVA to make a good rubbing glue joint, with spacers cut from scrap wood to keep everything nice and even. Then a dab of glue on the upper faces, and we can add in the other side. Checking carefully to be sure that the ends are square to each other. Before clamping it up tightly. With the glue dry and the workpiece unclamped, it's time to add the front capping sections, and these are simply held in place with masking tape while the adhesive sets. Right, so just when it was all going so well, the first two that I did are absolutely fantastic. They're down here, straight as an arrow, nice and square and true. This one's glued up absolutely fine. This one, like a flipping banana. So I've had to break it open again at one end, re-glue it. I've just done the other end now as well, reset it. And what I've got, I'll carry you down here carefully. I've got a string line all the way down, and then down here on the bench I've got a little clamp that's just pushing against that edge slightly. Just to make sure that that stays nice and straight as it glues, as the glue dries. And all the way down that string line. It should be reasonably straight. But yeah, these things are sent to trials, aren't they? Never mind. Because I really wanted to get the capping piece on this, but I don't know if the glue's going to be dry enough. What can you do? Well, we just got to give that time to dry. Time for the glue to go off, and if needs be, it's only 4:15. Yeah, grab a quick cup of coffee, I think. Give that a chance for the glue to set off. Then we get the front top capping piece and the end on it. What I'd like to do is get those sanded down and filled tonight if possible, because I'm going out on site again in the morning to template up the alcoves. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, that's altogether a much straighter piece of timber. Good. As before, the capping piece is glued on and clamped with tape, and once dry, both sections get a thorough sanding to clean up the glue lines.